Qiong is currently facing an issue regarding the lack of understanding of the consumers towards biodynamic wine. This resulted in three mini issues. Firstly, should Ceago continue with biodynamic practices? Secondly, should they carry out the agritourism venture? And lastly, should they still continue using the eco labels? In moving forward, Ceago can choose to adopt either conventional, organic or biodynamic approach in the farming of grapes. The 3 Ps of people, profit and planet is used to evaluate the sustainability of the three options. In terms of people, which are our consumers, the conventional method is negative as the use of chemicals and genetic modification in the growing grapes is detrimental to their health. Organic and biodynamic, however, were positive in terms of addressing the health concerns of consumers, with biodynamic being the safest. In terms of profits, the short-term profits of the conventional method is most attractive and the biodynamic method is least attractive as biodynamically grown grapes cost 10 to 15% higher than organic grapes. However, biodynamic is the most attractive in terms of long-term benefits as the use of geographic information system (GIS) can mitigate the high labor requirements of biodynamic farming and even bring about operating efficiency. Conventional method will not be as profitable in the long run as such practice is not sustainable and causes the soil to become of unusable quality in the long run. In terms of planet, conventional method is negative as the use of pesticides degrade the air quality and also affect soil and water quality. Organic and biodynamic has a positive score since they do not use chemicals. The use of GIs can further improve the environmental performance. Comparing between the three methods, it is clear that both organic and biodynamic method are beneficial to adopt. We will propose for Ceago to continue with biodynamic practices as biodynamic with its emphasis on a self-sufficient ecosystem, is more sustainable than organic. Moreover, Ceago already has the expertise in this field and are biodynamic certified, which essentially means that it can enjoy the benefits of being organic as well. After choosing the biodynamic option, the next step is to persuade consumers to buy with biodynamic wine. Ceago first has to understand the values of the consumers in order to persuade them. The things that the consumers value are taste and quality, value for money as well as health concerns. Ceago can use its resources of biodynamic agriculture, GIS technology and emitter accreditation to work towards the values that consumers hold. To get consumers to buy biodynamic, they need to be motivated. Ceago can motivate consumers through conducting research to establish the health benefits of biodynamic wine. Lastly, Ceago can get its staff to interact with consumers regularly so that consumers will find Ceago trustworthy. Next, Ceago is faced with the issue of how to further enhance its sustainability in the long run with the agritourism venture. It has two phases, which are the expansion of wine country spa and resort and the agriculture venture. Firstly, to do its own expansion of wine country spa and resort. Under this option, Jim intends to expand his wine tasting room and wine-making facilities into a high-end spa and resort. This can attract consumers to Ceago and educate them on biodynamic wine through wine tasting and vineyard tour. This can act as a differentiation strategy as most wineries are focused on producing wine alone. Ceago can earn profits through increased sales and revenue from the spa and resort. Second, to do a venture capital into lakeside hotel and vineyard village. Such a venture of $150 million would include villas and organic restaurant. Doing so will attract even more consumers to Lake County than the first method, hence letting more people know about biodynamic wine. However, this is provided that Ceago works with tour agency to bring in the tourists. This phase will bring in higher profits from the investment in lakeside hotel and vineyard villas as the beautiful scenery of Lake County is likely to attract visitors. Moreover, it will jumpstart ecotourism in rural Lake County. The business concepts of Ceago can be explained by using the business canvas model. In order to materialize its plans, Ceago needs to have the value proposition strongly thought out. Ceago will offer high-quality wine, a getaway place, great scenery, comfort and sustainable methods. To provide such values to consumers, necessary infrastructure must be in place. Increasing the sales of biodynamic wine requires working closely with its distributors to ensure that they put in effort to promote biodynamic wine. Another partner is the Lake County Planning Commission, whom approval has to be sought before the expansion can take place. Jim's 5-year expansion plan has just been approved. Lastly, Ceago has to liaise with tourism agencies to bring tourists in so that Ceago can spread the concept of biodynamic agriculture. In targeting customers, Ceago has to identify the relevant customer segments for the sale of biodynamic wine. Psychographic segmentation is useful. Ceago can target consumers who are willing to pay for better quality wine and play their part in sustaining the environment. As for attracting tourists, a combination of demographics and psychographic segmentation may be more appropriate. For instance, Ceago can look into attracting tourists from North America before expanding into other markets. In terms of distribution channel, new opportunity is presented by the new ruling that the state cannot prohibit the buying of wine from out-of-state vintners. Hence, Ceago should take advantage of this to increase the proportion of its internet sales, as it can reduce cost of sales by 50%. Other distribution channels include tasting room and retail distributors. The sales through the tasting room is expected to increase with the expansion into ecotourism by educating tourists of biodynamic wine. What about eco-labeling, our final problem? According to a survey, consumers learn about biodynamic wine through the following methods: wine tasting 22%, label on bottle 19.8%, tour of vineyard 15.1%, website information 13.6%. Thus, the two most popular choices are wine tasting and placing of label on wine bottles. Since the biodynamic agriculture route is the best option for Ceago and they intend to expand into agriculture that will assist in the education of the public, it should use its sustainable practices and resources to its advantage and continue using the labels. Moreover, learning through eco-labels was the second top choice. So, Ceago should retain the eco-labels and work on educating consumers through their agriculture venture to increase awareness. Ceago expects a constant increase in sales of 2,000 cases per year. Figures of the wine representation and winemaker are taken from websites and the sources are found on the slides. Taking into account the costs of labor required, which refers to a wine representative and a winemaker, the total profit would be $111,403. After looking at the details of the agritourism venture, we will have to evaluate the venture. We can do so by looking at the different stakeholders' interests and whether they are fulfilled. From Jim's point of view, this venture would increase their reach to the public and thus improve the effectiveness of sharing the knowledge of biodynamic wine. In addition, the venture would also demonstrate his commitment towards biodynamic practices. For Ceago, this venture would provide a steady stream of tourists to increase their sales. It would be an additional platform for people to find out about their products. For the government, the country would stand to gain as their economy would improve, creating an opportunity for Lake County to grow. On the other hand, this venture would become the source of revenue for the people of Lake County. They will be able to improve their standard of living and ensure financial stability, since there will be a steady stream of tourists. For current and potential consumers, this venture would be a quality assurance for the wine that they purchase, since they can witness the winemaking themselves. It will increase their confidence in the product and result in value congruence. The most important aspect for Ceago would be to ensure financial sustainability. It would be difficult to do so given the current insufficient understanding of public, which will translate to a smaller market for Ceago. However, given the strategic location of Ceago's property, the company should integrate the scenic location that draws people into their plans. It can be a resource that creates profits. Hence, Ceago needs to plan for the future and utilize all its current resources to maximize the total profits possible, and the agritourism venture would be a viable option to attain that, since there are profits of $111,403 yearly. Furthermore, they have a team that has the necessary skills and knowledge to maintain status quo for wine sales. With this team, they can search for possibilities they can take advantage of. Other products and services that Ceago can look into as a future differentiation strategy, such as jam and consultation services. Since Ceago has high-quality grapes and abundant vineyards, they can consider producing excellent jam to sell. In addition, Ceago can also look into providing consultation services to other farms who might be interested in converting to biodynamic practices. With Ceago's experience integrated into the consultation services, they will be able to include more farmers to practice biodynamic agriculture and thus increase the public's awareness.